All right, welcome back to Piggy's Picks. Today, Piggy is picking one of our favorite characters, Slimer. So this is the HCG, Hollywood Collectors Group, quarter scale Slimer. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna give you a brief character history because if you're not a Ghostbusters fan, you probably aren't watching this, and if you are, you know everything I'm gonna tell you. Slimer is pretty dope. He is a part of the Ghostbusters franchise. He is in the Ghostbusters movies, and those are one of my favorite series. You have Ghostbusters 1, you have the Ghostbusters 2. I was a teenager listening to Bobby Brown, You Don't Want to Hear Me Sing, singing on the Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack. Pretty dope song. I put a snippet of it in here, but then I would get slapped with a copyright. Slimer was also in the cartoons. Now there are a couple of different Ghostbusters cartoons. We're not gonna go into that. You had the real Ghostbusters, you had Ghostbusters, you had a retooled Slimer and the Ghostbusters. That original Ghostbusters cartoon had nothing to do with like the Egon and Peter and Winston and those guys. It was like some people solving some mysteries with a little monkey with them. And hey, if you want to have a video or a live where we talk about that, I can definitely do so. Drop it in the comments. Back to Slimer. So he was great on the cartoons. They kind of made him more kid friendly on the cartoons to where he was almost like an ally and a member of the Ghostbusters, helping them fight ghosts, although he was more of a nuisance and an annoyance because he was always sliming people. And that's what he is known for from the movies and the cartoon, sliming people. If you grew up like I did, you're a 70s baby, or you grew up in the 80s, you already know we're used to slime. We grew up with You Can't Do That on television, filled with slime. I digress, but if you want to talk about that, that's right, drop it in the comments. So let's talk about this Slimer statue. It's pretty dope. It's showing a scene where he was kind of haunting the banquet, and it's a famous scene, and they're depicting it here on this statue. So the pose is pretty dope. I love it. It has the food on here. You can see in the plates. I'll zoom in on it. He's got like chicken legs and meatballs and sausage and eggs and wine and champagne and coffee and teacups. So he's really having a ball. This statue stands at 23.5 inches tall. The Slimer himself, I'm not afraid to touch it. I ain't afraid of no ghost. I'm corny. The Slimer himself stands at 10 inches tall, but with the cart, he's 23.5. So, you know, the cart is 13.5. But the detail on this guy, now this is the regular version. There is an exclusive version that glows in the dark, but that one was too hard and too expensive for me to get my hands on it. But if you just like look at the teeth, the tongue, they did an amazing job on this, in my opinion, of the paint, the sculpt, Slimer's expression. I mean, but the teeth, I mean, they're not good looking teeth, but the depiction of the teeth is just amazing. They really did a fantastic job on this Slimer. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. I'm always looking forward to seeing him. We just got a new Ghostbusters Afterlife this past year. Have to finish watching that. I've been very busy. And we had, what was that, 2016 version with Leslie Jones and the other ladies from Saturday Night Live. I think her name is, I can't remember her name, but she was in the Wonder Woman playing Cheetah.
2 hours later.
I'm trying to think, now it's gonna drive me crazy that I can't think of her name, and I'm sure I'll know it as soon as this video ends. So, I'm trying to think. Melissa McCarthy was in it. It was quite a few people that was in it. I didn't like it at all. I'm not gonna bash it. I don't want any nasty comments calling me a boomer or sexist or none of that. I mean, it may all be true, but none of that stuff is true. I just did not like the movie at all. I'm trying to get my hands on the there's a Ghostbusters compilation disc set that comes in like a proton pack, and it has Ghostbusters 1, 2, and the Afterlife in it. And there's also an option to download the one with Melissa McCarthy in it. All right, so back to this guy, and that's one thing we won't talk about. But if you kind of dislike that version too, drop me a comment and I'll jump in there with you and we can talk about it. Or maybe you can convince me why it's a great movie and I need to rewatch it with a different point of view. So anyway, I mean, this won't be a long video. You can just take a look at the Slimer. I'll zoom in on him for you. And this is a piece that I've wanted for some time. I was finally able to get him, and then he sat in a box for some time. But he is a welcomed addition to the collection. And I mean, I just can't wait to display this guy. If there are any other Ghostbusters figures you would like for me to review, or anything Ghostbusters related or pop culture related that you would like to talk about, drop me a comment or shoot me an email if you have any show ideas, and we'll go from there. Thanks again, and don't forget, we are giving away our Superman versus Darkseid statue at the 500 subscriber mark. So stay tuned for that. We'll go live when it's time to give that away. More details to come. Please drop me a like. Please drop me a comment, subscribe, click that notification bell, and we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you so much for joining us today on Piggy's Picks.